Hello there. This video begins a new series on my channel called the Weekly Williams Shave. Yeah, Williams Mug Soap, the modern Williams. We will be shaving with Williams once a week for the next 2 months. One of the videos that I put out per week will be a Williams shave. And the reason for that is that Williams doesn't get any love. Not from the mainstream sort of forum members. Williams has a cadre of very devoted fans. And as much as people try to kill Williams and shut it down in the forums, they can't, because there's a ton of guys like me that love Williams. And you know, when you mention Williams on a forum, a lot of times what you get is people that want to come on the thread and say, well, it smells like a citronella candle, or it smells like lemon pledge, or it smells like insect repellent, or, you know, the dreaded urinal puck, I don't know who you are, but if you're spending all that time with a urinal puck shoved up in your face, you really need to get a life. When I'm in public restrooms where they have urinal pucks in the urinals, and I have to use the facilities, the last thing that I'm doing is breathing. I don't want to draw that stuff up in my nose. Unfortunately, the tiny bit of whiffs that I've got of that kind of deal, they don't smell nothing like this. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is just, I don't know. Some people just love to talk bad about this soap. They hate this soap, you know. And so I'm going to shave with it every week. The ingredients for Williams, just in case if I can ever find them: potassium stearate, sodium toluate, sodium cocoate, water, glycerin, fragrance, sodium chloride, titanium dioxide, stearic acid, pentasodium pentate, tetrasodium etidronate, and it says may also contain sodium palmitoylate. So this is a tallow-based soap. Second ingredient on the list. So, and it's a good soap. And if you love Williams, come join me every week for a Williams shave every week for the next 2 months, and then maybe I'll do like a bi-monthly kind of thing, twice a month deal. So let's go ahead and get this shave started. I'm using my Smoke 1438 bore. And Williams is a soap that you have to learn to lather. The thing with Williams is, you know, water, it's the thirstiest soap I've ever come across. And I've known some thirsty soaps. But Williams is an extremely thirsty soap. A lather that you would get out of Williams, a proto lather rather, off of the puck before you begin to bowl lather, because that's what I do, is bowl lather. Can look so foamy that it looks like you're never going to get any kind of lather out of it. Like it would fade away and be nothing. I think that's a lot of times the mistake that people make, and why Williams fades away on their faces. It actually doesn't have enough water. Not that they put too much water and don't have enough product, but they've got a ton of product and they don't have enough water in that product. Williams needs way more water than anything that I have ever used. But with all that water, I get a wonderful, wonderful lather. So foamy is your friend, water is your friend. The thing about Williams is you have to beat the snot. I've used that phrase before. Out of Williams to get it to work properly to get it to give you all the goodness that it is capable of. It needs work. People say, well, there's so many soaps out there that are so much better and easier to lather. And that's true. But Williams is an old school soap. That's what it is. And it requires a little more work, but it's worth it, in my opinion. Everybody else has their own kind of deal. For me, it's worth it with Williams. Just on a price basis, to me, it's worth it. Another thing that I have noticed is that scent-wise, everybody talks about the scent with Williams. Scent-wise, I've noticed that after I lather Williams, this scent is not anywhere near as strong. And that's true with a lot of soaps. I'm using, before we get into it, I'm using my 68 Lady Gillette. With a Persona Med Prep, just for hospital use, right on the blade. This will be the 5th shave on this blade, by the way. Excellent, excellent blade. It was so smooth the last time I used it that it felt like it was brand new. Will it be that way on this shave? I don't know. If it doesn't cut it, you know me, I'll switch in between I'll switch the razor blade out. So anyway, I said I'm using my Smoke 1438 bore. Another thing about Williams and the water is that the more often you use Williams, the better it seems to perform. There are other soaps that are like that as well, and it's because the puck stays hydrated and it just works better. But I mean, you'd have to be awful bad to complain about that lather right there. I don't get a lather that disappears and dissipates. Mine stay. Lovely blade. Nice and slick lather. Had a fellow ask me on one of the Facebook pages, you know, how slick is Williams? Well, my answer was it depends on how much water you get in it. Get the right amount of water in Williams, and it's pretty slick. I mean, I told him most of the time, for me, it's like a medium slickness to a light slickness. Today's slickness is really, really good. It's just how much water you get in the soap. You know, sometimes you don't get as much water. And you guys know me, if you watch my channel, I have a tendency to mix lather really wet. I like it that way. I straight shave about half the time. And I need that slickness. But Williams, like I said, is one of the only soaps that I've ever experienced where it's almost it's almost impossible to get too much water in Williams. The stuff just sucks it up and it wants more, and your lather can look really well hydrated with Williams and be not so well hydrated. It's just the way that the soap is. So that's something to think about too. But I mean, look, you know, it leaves that residue behind. It's nice and slick. That's wonderfully slick through my fingertip. Wonderful cushion. Just a lovely soap all the way around. You know, and that's something, you know, I talked earlier about Williams not getting the respect that I think it probably deserves. If you're new to wet shaving, there's a whole lot of soaps out there, and you ought to try them all. I'm just telling you right now, you ought to try them all. As many as you can. But soaps like Williams, or Arco, soaps that Mitchell's Wool Fat sometimes gets done this way too. People say, well, don't waste your time with these soaps, and they're not any good for you. There are better soaps out there. Well, define better. That's really subjective. Yeah, you can give a bunch of different characteristics and say that Williams is lacking here or there. It's not lacking by any means to me. I get plenty of wonderful lather. This lather's stable. It's not fading. It's not going anywhere. And I'm taking my time. So, you know, you just have to learn the soap. Learn what it wants. How to make it do what it's supposed to. But don't let anybody tell you, oh, what you like is no good. If there's a shaving product out there that you enjoy using, and everybody else is telling you that it isn't any good, but you're getting good shaves with it, and you're enjoying using it, you know what? Don't pay any attention to them. Now, you want to keep your eyes open, you know. You don't want to be... One of the things that I see a lot, and it happens in life with all kind of things, but in wet shaving is what we're talking about right now. One of the things that I'm seeing a lot of now is brand loyalty, and I don't mean, you know, hey, there are certain soaps that I love, and I'm going to be loyal to them because they're loyal to me in the way that they treat my skin and the way that the shave that they give me and stuff like that. But if somebody comes on and says they don't like it, I'm not going to take it personally. You know, that's something we could use. I mean, it's not happening all the time, but I catch it sometimes. People get bent out of shape because somebody said something about a soap or a blade or anything that they like. And it's like somebody insulted their mother or something like that. Come on, guys. This is shaving. It's just a soap. It's just a cream. It's just a razor or a blade, or it's just a technique, or whatever it is, you know. There's two sides of that. One side is Don't take a bunch of junk from people telling you that a soap or a brush or anything else that you like is bad. Ignore them. Do what you want. Enjoy yourself. Period. But be honest with yourself too. And be good to each other. Understand, this is just shaving. We ought to be the gentlemen that we all are running around claiming that we are. And I'm not talking about some kind of showy, false kind of idea about gentlemen, but just we ought to be polite. In everything that we do as much as we can. Because there's so many. Man, look around. Look around you. Look around this shaving community. Look at all the generosity that goes on in the shaving community. Man, people have gifted me razors and brushes, and they PM me on or message me on the Facebook pages and say, hey, have you tried this blade? I got some. You want some? You know, all kind of stuff. And that's just me. Look around and look and see how cool the people that are on these forums are and how generous some of the people are. It's a great place to be. It's a great time to be involved in wet shaving. Let's find ways to encourage each other. That razor right there absolutely amazes me. The kind of shave that I get off of this razor. The Persona Med Prep that I've got in this razor. This is a 5th shave on it. And it may, not sure, but it may be starting to get dull. Can't say for sure. I'll know on the next shave. But I've gotten 5 shaves out of it. 5 really nice, smooth, comfortable, close shaves out of that blade. Just wonderful. And that was an example of the generosity of someone on the shave forums right there, that blade. So, alright, that's the shave. I'm going to finish off with a very old favorite of mine. Not quite as old as Williams. But, I've used it ever since the early to mid 70s when I first started shaving. It's been the one constant in my den since then, and it'll, as long as they make it, I'll be using it. So, alright. God bless you. Thanks for joining me. Like I said, if you love Williams, come by every week. And I'll be doing a Williams shave every week. Come join me. God bless you. And I'll talk to you later.